I've been writing a journal for 558 consecutive days. That's basically a year and a half if you are bad at math like me. And I did it not because I wanted to document my thoughts or for habit tracking, but because I wanted to rewrite the story of my life. Because you see, most people think that journaling is just about self-reflection, a quiet and introspective hobby, a place to just dump your thoughts and move on. But what if journaling isn't just about reflection? What if you can use it for direction? In this world that demands speed and exposure, writing slowly with pen and paper in private is basically the most powerful creative act we have left. So in this video, I want to break down how journaling became my creative direction system, an emotional rebellion, and just like a self-design lab. I'm also going to give you the step-by-step on how to do it today, some journaling prompts you can use, not AI related, and just the benefits of it all. So let's jump right in. So back when I wasn't too much into writing, I wasn't writing a journal or anything like that, my thoughts felt like static noise. I didn't feel in control of the narrative of my life. I was basically reacting to life as it comes. I had ideas, I had the goals, but they lived in a friction. I didn't have a place to be reminded and read about my goals and understand my own goals. Nothing felt cohesive. And like many people, and probably some of you watching, I thought that journaling was some woo-woo reflective tool situation, maybe useful, maybe sentimental even, but not something powerful, you know? But then I decided to give it a try and everything changed, because the more I wrote, the more I realized that I wasn't just documenting how I felt, I was designing it. I was designing a new way of thinking for myself. So my journal became kind of like this directional device for me, not a place to just record things, but to decide. And it wasn't like a form of therapy, but much more like a form of authorship. Much like traditional writers decide how their characters are going to behave, to talk, to look like, I started to use journaling in the same way. I was asking myself, like, if I could write my life from scratch, what would I write about? And then I just kept on writing and never stopped. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to make something very clear here. If you, like me, suffer from a speedy brain, just overthinking, like you can't keep up with your thoughts, you should be writing with pen and paper. I don't like to be prescriptive with my videos, but I am sorry. This is something that I'm not going to back down, because when you write with pen and paper, you are basically tricking your brain into thinking more slowly, just because you cannot physically write at the same speed in which you can think with your brain. So that will give you a lot more time to just make sense of all of the mess inside. And that insight alone is going to save you hours and hours and hours of just like typing, deleting all over again, over and over and over again. So journaling in a digital form is useless. Keep that on your mind. You remember that Notion journaling template you downloaded months ago? Yeah, that poor guy is basically forsaken there. When it comes to writing a journal, nothing, absolutely nothing can compete with writing with pen and paper. And my goal is that by the end of this video, you're going to be convinced and on your way to buy something like this. And if you don't know what to write about or how to do it, don't worry, we'll get to that part. You got nowhere to be. Just relax and enjoy the video. Now, a lot of people think that journaling is about documentation or habit tracking, and they would be right. It can be used for that, but it can be much more than that. Like I mentioned before, I believe that journaling can be a quiet protest against all the digital chaos we are living right now. It's basically an act of creative and emotional resistance in a world that demands exposure and speed, because it is the complete opposite of that. It's something you do in private. No one is ever going to read it. You won't gain online authority by doing it, nor followers or anything like that. It's basically an analog gesture of reclaiming your presence, and to me a form of meditation too. Because just think about it for a second. Out of all of the activities you do in your day, in which one of them are you fully present in the moment? Because people are even using their phones right now to take a shit. And I am guilty of that. But when you are writing, you are forced to be present, basically. And you are training this special ability that we are losing each day called attention. You are training your attention, you're training your mind to think slowly. You get much more calmer as well, and it's much easier to come up with new ideas and just understand and get a sense of your own thoughts. And speaking of thoughts, in the beginning, your journal will feel like a mirror into your thoughts, but it doesn't need to be just that. It can also be a script, a rehearsal space. Think of it like a draft of who you might become. Now, writing in general is the most powerful skill you can learn because everything is writing. Video starts with writing. Social media starts with writing. Sales starts with writing. And writing in private helps you build a vision for yourself, while writing in public can help you build an audience, can help you bring more people to get to know your art, can help you build a business, and you get better at writing in public when you write in private. So it's a win-win situation for you to have a habit of writing a journal. You get to know yourself a little bit better, you get to build a vision for yourself, you get to build a business, and you can learn a valuable skill all at the same time. It is very hard to think of any other skill with so many upsides. Since I started to write daily, I made better decisions, I redefined my goals, and just reconnected with myself in ways that no Notion template or productivity app ever could, because I no longer wait for clarity to happen to me. I write until it reviews itself. Getting into the habit of writing gave me a place not only to discover who I am right now, but also a place to build my next version. And maybe most importantly, it has slowed down the voices inside my head just enough for me to be able to hear myself again. Now for the part you've been waiting for: how to do it, what to write about, for how long should you do it, and everything in between. So first, I have a few grounding rules when it comes to writing. First one is to write as if no one will read it, because no one will. Also, don't try to be insightful when writing a journal. You're trying to be honest here. This is not a social media post. You're not trying to convince anyone of anything. And the third rule is to let it be messy. Don't worry too much about grammar mistakes. It's okay to just like scribble around and just like make a mess out of it. Truth lives in chaos first. So to tap into the analogy of the traditional writer here again, write as if you were building a character and not only recording the past. So with that out of the way, what to write about? Well, there's a lot of ways in which you can approach this. I mainly use 3 different prompts, and this is not AI prompts, don't worry. And I try to do it between 3 and 5 entries every single day, but sometimes it can go upwards like 2 full pages. It happens. The first prompt is very simple. It's just a gratitude prompt. It's the easiest one to start off with because you can basically start with "I am grateful for," and just like fill in the blanks. Second prompt is about memories and dreams, just because I think it's very fun to look at old pages and just remember a dream that I had or even a bad memory, so I can reflect on it and just reflect on how far I've came. So for example, I have a whole page for when I moved away from Brazil. It was a very important moment of my life, and thanks to journaling, I got to remember that forever. Now the third prompt is the special one that I spend the most time with, which is called soliloquy. A soliloquy is just an ancient word that means to speak your thoughts out loud like no one is hearing it. And it applies perfectly to writing a journal. There's no specific rule attached to it, so the way that I like to use it is just to record some of my feelings and then add questions, try to question my own feelings until I reach end of thought. So the way that I did it in the past, for example, was to write about like, okay, so today I'm feeling anxious and blah 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 blah, and then I can end with, okay, so to what end am I feeling anxious? So I try to reach end of thought with those questions. I basically force my brain to go past the initial feeling, the initial thought, and just think very critically about stuff, and it helps a lot. You can also do it to question what you do for work. So for example, the other day I was writing about why I like making videos so much. What is it about it? Like, is the aesthetics? Is it because of the cameras? Is it because of the audio? Like, why? And again, there isn't many rules here, so you can just like start writing whatever you want about a specific feeling or about a specific goal that you have, and just like add those questions. Question yourself one at a time and just like try to reach end of thought. It's a very interesting exercise. And to mention again the point about designing your life, you can also try to write your perfect day. This is something you probably heard before in other channels or other people talking about, write about your perfect day, what do you want to do, etc, etc. And it may sound very, very cliche, but it's actually very helpful because you can write about your perfect day as if you had full control, because you do have full control of your day, at least in writing. Like obviously there's a lot of things that people have, like you have your work, you have responsibilities, but when you are doing this exercise of writing in your journal, nothing can stop you. So you can write your perfect day as if you had complete full control of your day, and then you can just like work backwards, do the reverse engineering of that perfect day and write your goals, and then you can write the things you don't want in life, and then you can see where I'm going with this. Okay, so hopefully now that I have convinced you to start journaling, here's a very quick guide so you can start today, right now, right after this video if you want. Pick a pen and paper of your choosing, ideally a little notebook like the one that I showed. Choose a very specific time and place to write. This is super important for habit formation. Write 3 to 5 entries of your choosing. And after writing, read through your notes from that day and just reflect on them for a little bit. Close your journal, move on, and repeat the next day. Don't expect very big results in the beginning. This is a process, this is a habit formation. In my own experience, I started to feel some results within a week. So think about less overthinking, less anxiety, more clarity, more calmness, emotional intelligence, better writing skills, obviously. I could keep going with that list for hours, but please just try it out for yourself, see if you like it, and if you do already write a journal, leave a comment right here for the next person with your best tip. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you, and as always, don't just watch it, go do something with this information. Like the video, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and watch this video right here because I think you're going to like it, and I'll see you there. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.